All right, we will get started with Boston College here. Mike Gambino, Vince Cimini. We'll get an opening statement from Coach first, and then open it up for questions here. Coach.
I loved kind of battle at the end at time went to the plate there. Love what we did there at the end. Westy was awesome again, settling that thing down. I had to feel early on, like, I mean, that offense is scary. So what Westy did to give us a chance all the way through was awesome. And obviously swung back well, but Austin Gordon today was really good. And we saw that we were able to get him for a couple at our place early on, but he gave us fits at our place once and then did it again. That kid's good. And that, tell you what, man, that Clemson ball club. Yeah, we have some really good ball clubs in this conference, obviously, and they're right there with anybody in the country.
Okay, we'll open up for questions. If you have one, just raise your hand and we'll pass the mic around.
I know you just touched on it briefly with John West, and he also had 6 point in great team country. 5 team scoreless today. Really working with his pitches.
Yes, fastball command, a little slider going. He added I would say second time through is when we kind of went to the change a little bit more against some of the lefties. I mean, he's tough, he's athletic, he's competitive. The ball is on you. Clemson's not the only team he gave fit this year. But yeah, we love him. We love what he does for us. And you know, we were treating this in some ways like game 7. We knew it was going to be funny to West. You know, we were kind of hoping it was going to be a 5-4 or 4-5 type situation, but we knew that was the plan going in. And it's hard to ever have confidence against anybody going against this Clemson lineup. But we had confidence, and not for nothing, we kept them to 4 runs. Like, that's a chance to win the baseball game, right? And Gordon was just pretty good today, and we couldn't really get anything going. And their bullpen did a great job as well.
After what John did,
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but Flinney's been awesome all year, and we're not in this spot if it's not for Flinney. So yeah, you know, in some ways, it's just a matter of which way we were going today with them. And Westy has come out of the bullpen. Flinney's been starting all year. So he's trying to kind of just keep Flinney in his routine, and then hit turn over to Westy. But for sure, I mean, I think we're in a really good spot right now where you kind of have a 1 and a 1A, which is a fun place to be.
Coach, just kind of taking stock of where you stand heading into the postseason. Health standpoint, any updates on time frame for and feel good about the way your pitching staff is kind of set up right now for what you've seen this week.
I do. I mean, I think we faced, even going back to Notre Dame, we faced 3 really good offenses in the last week and a half, and the boys have done a really, really good job. I love where our staff is. You know, it's really important to get Jordan Ryan back out there today. He had a little bit of tenderness, I guess a week and a half ago. We haven't had him for a week and a half, so there was only 1 batter. I was hoping it was going to be 4 outs. But getting Jordan back, and then you see Cam kind of creeping back in there. He had great at bat, Tuesday, great at bat on Tuesday, another great at bat today. He's close. And Travis is progressing. So Cam's back next weekend, basically. And Travis, it's gonna be close. We're gonna sweat this one out. It's gonna be right down the wire. And I'd say leaning towards having both of those guys in our outfield, but I don't know that for sure.
Down front. Right here in the middle.
Coach, after you hosted Clemson up there, you were after that series, you were one of the first ones to say, hey, this Clemson team is actually pretty good and, maybe would be Omaha worthy. And then you said there's several teams in the ACC that are that way. When you see this Clemson team, what makes you think, yeah, this team's good enough to make it to Omaha?
Well, it feels like they haven't lost a game in 3 months. I mean, you talk from a lineup standpoint, there's length, there's speed, there's power. They play defense all over the field. You know, you have everything from, you know, Canarella who can bunt and steal and run, and Grace who can hit it on top of the roof like he did today. They're scary all the way through. And then the arms, right? I mean, they've got the rotation style, I mean, that's they're kind of the two today coming at us basically. We got Grace going tomorrow, I believe. And then you see the arms coming out of the bullpen. It's hard to find holes. And on top of that, they're a tough competitive group there. And they're taking on, you know, Eric's personality, and you know, it feels a little bit, I'm saying it's a positive way, like some of Jack's best teams. It's a scary club. And we got a couple scary clubs. I mean, there's two going at it right now that I think could go to Omaha. I mean, obviously everybody sees what Wake's doing. It's just, you know, Wake is, I was saying this the other day, I think I've been in the league 15 years or something like that. And you have to go through and start picking some of the teams. Virginia years ago, there's a volleyball team years ago. You start finding a couple clubs along the way. You know, Carolina back in like 07, I think it was, like that matchup to that Wake Forest team. You know, so, and I'll tell you, you know, whatever four end up in here, all four of those teams can go on. And that's the thing about this league. I think we're a 10-bid league. And not for nothing, if you take any one of the teams that you're not going to put in the NCAA tournament, you put them in the NCAA tournament, even some of the teams that didn't make it, Florida State and Louisville didn't get here, you put one of them in the NCAA tournament, you can pick your head up and see them. This league is scary and fun.
Vince, can you take me through the event in the ninth inning, what you were looking for from Darius? And then did you tell Nick anything, or did you guys have a scouting report? Because he kind of obviously had some success there to get over the pole.
Sure, yeah, so, we know the report on him is basketball medicine carried to it. And we're looking, you know, we kind of struggle also the top of the zone, so we're trying to just kind of get on top of something. We talked before the end, actually, that was just, we were just trying to get on top of something.
My question's for Vince. Vince, this is Mike Farrell for Sports Network. Your coach kind of touched up about how the league, everyone's competing. It's a very strong league. From a player standpoint, where do you see the future of the ACC going from here?
Sure, yeah, it seems like, you know, any given week, the strength of the league is pretty much even throughout in my eyes. I think certain teams do things well. Teams like most of all, we need to put behind, so kind of have some resilience in our team. So I think, you know, today is getting on our way, but we're ready next week.
Hey Vince, right here. What did Austin do today, kind of keep you guys off balance from your standpoint?
Sure, yeah, I think we had a good plan going in. You know, we struggled earlier in the year against some growth, I think, for a couple of months, at our place, but you know, just being able to pitch to the top of the zone has kind of been and a lot of pitchers are taking now, and it's very effective. You know, you just miss hit a ball and it feels like you got it, kind of hangs up in the air, so it's pretty tough.
Down front.
Now you kind of sit back and wait to see what the NCAA is going to do. What would it mean for your program, the city of Boston, for you guys to be able to host?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a couple sort of program changing moments in the last couple of years. I mean, everybody, actually, nobody forgets, but 5 years ago, we didn't have a baseball team, right? And that's what the first thing anybody said about our program was that, you know, we were playing in the parking lot, and they talked about tailgating on a baseball field. And that's when, you know, Reno was a junior in high school, Peter Burns and that crew were seniors in high school. We were recruiting a lot of them still at a baseball field. So adding the baseball field, adding the Pete Frady Center, and have a facility now that you can be proud of, and now the ability to show that off in the postseason, and something that in 2016 we won our regional in Mississippi, and Miami was on the other side, and I don't remember exactly how it played out. But I think Miami was down at some point on Sunday afternoon, and we were kind of joking that even if Miami hadn't won their regional, we couldn't have come back home for a Super. We didn't have a field, you know? So The other thing about it is, the city of Boston turns out for big events. And this will be a big deal in the city. It'll be a huge deal for our program. It'll be a huge deal for our university. And then for everybody, one thing that we say about our program, we talk about this being our thing. It's not just boys in the field and the staff. It's the donors, it's the former players, it's the alumni that have rallied over these past years there were times when it looked like this program might be discontinued over the years. And our group of faithful donors, alumni, former players, all of them have fought and fought and fought to get us to this spot. So yeah, it would be a program change in paper events.
Hey, we got one quick question on Zoom from Dan Rubin. Go ahead, Dan.
Coach, and for Vince, this one for both of you. I know this team had something to prove this week, just on the field, not even off the field, in terms of getting to the tournament and being a host team. For both of you, how do you feel that these two games accomplished the goal of showing that you were a top 16 team in the country with the results on the field?
Yeah, the question, to paraphrase, was how did these games, did we have something to prove when we came here, and did these games prove what we wanted to prove? I did that right. The chance to start.
Yeah, like I said before, a lot of our wins have come from the resilience of this team is kind of hard to hear and say. When I go out of the water offensively, I go 98. So as far as that goes, I think solid baseball team.
Yeah, and I think as a team, as a program, we're always going to play with a touch of a chip on our shoulder. So we are. We believe our resume says we should host. Whether we get that or not, we're still going to play with a chip on our shoulder. So that was the kind of goal here. One last thing before we go. Brendan Flynn has been a long-time baseball SID with us. Oklahoma, UConn, a couple other places I forget because he's so old. But this is, unfortunately, he got demoted and has to move to football. But he's been a long-time baseball, legendary baseball SID, and this will be his last official ACC baseball tournament. But I'm sure he will figure out ways to get on the travel squad going forward. But I just want to thank Brendan for all the work he's done here.